they had a domestic violence issue a year and a half prior. So now they were married and living together, but he came down in his truck and they beat the fuck out of him and arrested him for, TRO, like she didn't have a restraining order on him. It was a case that had been dropped, a domestic violence case. So they didn't read him his rights. They didn't have that law, but they never identified him.
Did she get killed?
No. They both got arrested. She got arrested for a DWI. They beat the shit out of him thinking that he was breaking a restraining order, and he wasn't. And they never ID'd him. So they were just beating up some guy that she said, oh, that's my husband. Well, they had a record that said he was violent towards her, and there was a case. And there was not. There wasn't. So they lost their house because he was in there up to like almost a year. Then finally at the end of it, they figured, well, even if he did do anything wrong, which he didn't, the police never even ID'd the fool. And it never would have happened. If they would have actually looked at people's ID and assessed that this case had been dropped, it would have been easy. But they jumped the gun. So now they have to read your rights, which means that you're being charged. When you're being charged, you already have a warrant, right? So you know what you're being charged with, so they'll read you your rights. But when you're detained or arrested, you haven't been arrested or charged. You're just being detained. So they don't have to read you a goddamn thing. They get arrested right now and just take you in. That's being detained. You haven't been charged yet, so they don't have to read you shit. So that whole Miranda thing is bullshit. Unless you got a warrant, but even if they don't need to read you shit, they have a warrant.
What would happen if someone like Rex Heuermann, if he didn't have a wife and he got arrested, he would just never see his house and stuff again? He would just disappear off. He would be locked up and he couldn't get all his stuff would just disappear, all his belongings.
The law says that the government, if wrongdoing is found and you're released, and no wrongdoing is found, they'll release you, and the only legal thing that the government has to return that they possessed in the seizure would be your cash. So,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what happens if someone gets arrested? Like, you know who Rex Heuermann is, right?
They don't have to pay for your house or anything. Yeah.
No, like
those are amber suits.
Like if somebody gets arrested and they never go home again, do they